Hello everybody, I hope you find you fit and well. Little catchphrase that is going to be, I think, from now on. As you can see, another one. Yeah, backdrop. Yeah, it's still the same. We are sort of getting there with this, with the coronavirus and so on. I think hopefully at some point soon, fingers crossed, normal service may be resumed, but we'll have to see about that. But for now, if you remember, I did a video about my ultimate cars, basically money no object, what I'd have, and then there was one right at the end which above any of them, that's the car I'd have. No ifs, no buts, whatever the cost. If you've not seen that video, and if you've not seen Malcolm's or Craig's, please check all three out, but especially that one of mine, because what I'm going to now go on about is the car I mentioned at the end, the ultimate car. So please go check them out first and then come back to this video. For those of you which have seen it, and thanks for watching it, you know what my ultimate car is. Yes, the Ford Escort RS Cosworth. I was fairly brief and very excited as to why I'd have one, but I'm just going to go a little bit slightly more in depth on why. Firstly, the looks. It's an absolutely beautiful car. No car have I ever seen afterwards, apart from all these silly tuned cars with lots of daft stuff hanging off them and all that, like they're driven through a branch of Alfred's and they basically just don't look right. I've got big spoilers on and all that. Never has a production car now come out of a factory with such a mad spoiler. And a lot of people look at it and think, it's a bit insane, that spoiler on the back. It doesn't need it. It does. Actually, there is a video somewhere on YouTube if you want to check a look at it, and it's basically about a bit of history to do with the design of the car and especially the spoiler, and actually how we know the big top piece and then the smaller lip. There was going to be a third piece. It was going to be a triple spoiler. Triple spoiler. My own personal opinion, I prefer it as it is. It's not just because that's what I'm used to. It's a question of, I have seen the pictures of it with the extra bit of a spoiler and I don't like it. I think it's a little bit overkill. It does the job as it is. It looks the part as it is. So I'm glad what happened and it ended up being like that when it went into production. It hit our streets about 1992, release date, of a cost of about £25,000. Now, I will just say, you know, money no object, but I've seen two prime examples which went up on YouTube and various sites to see. And the first one was in the Mallard Green. It had done 2,000 miles, completely factory, not tampered with, nothing, absolutely mint condition. And it was selling, and I believe is still selling, for £87,500. A lot of you might say that's silly money for something that's probably just not more than an Escort. This is where the argument might lie. But basically then I saw another one in the Imperial Blue colour, a bit like a flagship colour for that. And that was a 2k mileage as well, a 2,000 mileage, but it must have been even better condition. How, I don't know, because when you look at them they both seem the same bar colour. You might have had a few more extras, I don't know, from factory, but that was selling for 92,500. And that one, the blue one, is sold. The Mallard Green one is still kicking about. I know Craig and Malcolm sort of like the Monte Carlo one better. I love the colour of the Monte Carlo, but I'm not so overjoyed with them wheels that's on the Monte Carlo. And yeah, it's got some fancy coloured seats with the Motorsport logo, and they are all numbered cars, but for me, I'd personally just like a bog standard Escort RS Cosworth. and I don't think I'd be bothered with what colour. So basically, you can see how the prices have shot up from early 90s to now. They are sought after. You get one that's low mileage, good nick. I've seen some in the 40,000 marks. If they get lower than that, they might have some slight issues or things that needed addressing. But to be fair, we know that they are up there. They are massive amounts for them, and it's only right. So that's that. Power. Well, yeah, a 2 litre turbocharged engine, the Cosworth engine. Yeah, I mean, as I said before, some people didn't realise, but it was a shortened Sierra. It's a very bespoke car. The engine block obviously ran the same way. 4-wheel drive. And yeah, the brake horsepower about 227. It's 0 to 60 about 6.1ish, 6.5 between that. With a top speed, I've seen some say 137 to 140. I believe it's somewhere in between that. By today's standards, maybe, yeah, it's not mega power now. I mean, we know some normal cars can fly about that. But for me, it was never all about the power. Excuse me. It was never all about the power. It was basically its looks, its presence. And this is where I'm going to get back to it being a bespoke car. Now you think about it. Let's not go really far back into the 70s and all, like the Capris and stuff we all thought. But let's get to where we got the Sierra. The Sierra Cosworth, the like 3-door one with a spoiler and that were fairly bespoke. Yeah? That's one that Ford did. Money no object, they did it. Right? Escort came along, it sort of replaced the Sierra, and as we know, like I said, shortened Sierra anyway, but it had the blistered wheel arches, the big wheel tail spoiler, the lip spoiler at the front, both needed. Spoiler at the back for downforce, lip spoiler at the front for downforce, the vents in the bonnet, all needed, the little vents on the side by the wheel arches, all needed. Every single thing wasn't for a look, it was all needed, but it was bespoke. You had the Escort RS 2000, but no panels were the same hardly. You couldn't look like, you could make it look like a replica of an Escort RS Cosworth, but it wasn't. And this is what I mean about it was all bespoke parts. Now, when you think about it, after that went, and then they launched the Focus, the first Focus RS. That was slightly bespoke from the ST and that. You could see parts of that was different. Not a lot, they were sort of taming them down, I think, until they came to the Mark II Focus RS, and again, that was all bespoke parts, flared wheel arches and all the lot. So, yeah, it was a very bespoke car. The reason why I like this Escort Cosworth RS, it really sort of, you can see Ford calming down. After that, how we are today with the Mark III Focus RS, I don't believe it's mad enough. It's not got flared wheel arches, it's not even got any bonnet vents. They didn't do a 3-door version, it's not bespoke. It's like an ST with some little garnish, and that's it. Yeah, take the power away and the all-wheel drive system, and I'm sorry, Ford have got tamer and tamer as they've gone along. And I'm a Ford man, but yeah, they have. And this is why I hanker back to this Escort, to the Cosy. As you've got to say it, Cosy, as they say. But yeah, this is why I would give anything to own one of them, because it's taking you back to the time, I believe, when Ford was still up there. They had ideas. They wasn't afraid of doing bespoke cars. Even if they thought they might make a loss, which they never did with the Escort Cosworth, they did with the Focus one. The Focus RS, the Mark 1, the first one out, they actually made about a £5,000 loss on each car they were making. So I think they coined it all back though when you think about the Mark II that they brought out. But again, bespoke car, cost a lot to make, but again, they are rising in value for good ones. I've owned one myself, love them. But, like I said, that's drifting a bit off subject, but going back to the Escort, yeah, its power isn't mega by today's standards, obviously, but you could say that about a lot of cars from then to now. But I still think the looks and everything, its presence, is iconic. It's a cult classic. It's something from the 90s, you know, is never going to be seen no more. Nothing like that. Ford aren't ever going to attempt to make a car like that, as mad as that, by today's standards. They've shown that they could have done with the Mark III RS Focus, but didn't. It was a, that'll do. It doesn't matter what people are going to have to pay for this car, that'll do. But in the 90s, when the Escort Cosy came out, it was, we're going to lift this off a rally stage. It's doing so well in the group rally stages. We're not going to say, we'll take this off it, we'll take that off it. By the time we're done, it'll just look like an Escort. No, they lifted it and they gave it us. And that was it. And that's what they did with the RS Mark II. And that's why that appealed to me. Given the choice, would I have a Focus RS Mark II or the Escort Cosy? There's no comparison. I would have the Cosy all day long. Not just because I haven't had one and they say don't drive your heroes, but no, I would have one because it's my dream car. Interior wise, I think it still stands up today. If you get even the one with the like a hexagon pattern on the cloth trim, it still looks brilliant. A hexagon pattern like that, all on cloth trim, has not been done in many cars from Ford ever since. It's all just normal patterns. They just haven't gone a bit off the scale like they did when they did the Cosy. If you get one that's full leather, brilliant. But I still think the inside stands up today with some cars. It's all well laid out, it's a lovely cabin, it's great to be in. Some say you feel like you're sat on the car when you're driving it and not in the car. That is a small price to pay for something like that. I would not even give it a thought. But anyway, like I say, as the Escort sort of ran through its series, coming to its near its end, well, not exactly near its end, but through most of its time, it always got the smaller turbo. One way of looking to find out, whip the bonnet up, have a look. If the engine block's blue, big turbo. If the engine block's silver, smaller turbo. Believe me, if you get one and it's not been fiddled about with and tuned or made stupid and all that, you've got a cracking car. If anyone's got one that's watching this that wants to chuck any comments in or even send us a picture or anything and say, look, I have one, I wish we could film it, let us know. But yeah, it's my ultimate dream car. It always will be, whatever comes along now, or if anyone says, you haven't mentioned that, no. I am a Ford man. I say it in most videos nearly, but it is my ultimate dream car. So yeah, to sum up, I'd have a Monte Carlo one, but I don't like the wheels. Is that being silly? If I had one, I'd want the standard wheels on it. I love the colour, but then again, I love most of the colours in that. I think it's a car that actually suits every single colour. Red, white, black, blue, silver. The gunmetal colour looks brilliant in it. Yeah, whatever colour. And some people might say, oh, I'm bothered about colour and that, but I think it really looks good in any colour. So yeah, it's about presence on the road, which a lot of Fords haven't really got now, and that has. It's holding its own. A car that was launched in 1992, costing around 25 grand, which is more than triple practically nearly in price for most good examples. What more would you want? It's basically saying this was Ford at our peak. We've shaken a bit, we're going down, maybe they'll come back with something brilliant, but I don't ever think they'll come back with anything that can beat the Escort Cosworth. I will bid you a fond farewell and a good night. And I'll probably end up dreaming about Escort Cosworths now. And as I've said before, if I ever get my hands on one, you guys will see it, because it will be filmed. Thanks. Catch you all later.
Feel free to comment if you like the video. Give us a thumbs up. If you don't like it, you know what to do. And yeah, leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. And hopefully we'll see you next time. Stay safe.